everyone, and welcome to our Ellipse Unsealed podcast. We have with us today Denis Guryev, one of our very own Ellipse Solutions employees. Hi, Denis.
We let folks like Denis on. We got to check our guest, schedule. What's going on?
Yeah, we need more like stipulations and guidelines.
Yeah, we need a gatekeeper for sure.
Yeah.
Scraping the bottom of the barrel there.
That's right. Who's that? Oh, there's Denis way down there. Let's use Denis. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll do.
Yeah.
No, if there's two things I know about Denis, it's one, he likes to swim, and two, he loves to chat. So he's perfect as a podcast guest.
Just those two don't combine. That's
very true.
Chatting is tough. Yeah.
Yeah.
You chat enough all day, you need a break. That's why you go swim, right?
Right.
Exactly. Do you have a swim stroke that's your favorite? Like, what do you just typical, basic stroke, or are you a backstroker?
Butterfly. No,
butterfly.
Butterfly. Yes.
Right. All right.
They say it's drowning with a style. That's what butterfly is.
Yeah. Butterfly is like one of the hardest ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. I hate myself while doing it every single time, but I love it at the same time.
Yeah.
Love-hate relationship.
On, doggy paddle is about.
Yeah, the doggy paddle.
Yeah.
That might take a little longer to do all of your. How many? Don't you swim like a mile or something every time you go, or how?
About hour and a half. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay. Hour 15 minutes to hour and a half. That's when usually you get to a point where it's time. It's
nonstop. So you don't stop for an hour and a half. All right.
Well, do sets. Usually swimmers do kind of a set. You do certain things, then you stand for 15 seconds, then do the next thing, and over and over and over and over. But
gotcha.
You do it continuously for an hour and a half. Sometimes I do just freestyle back and forth, but that's for endurance training. Otherwise, it's shorter sets. 50 yards, 100 yards.
So, do you love watching the Olympic swimming events?
Yeah,
it's really exciting because they get so crazy at the end, and your people catching.
Yeah, we actually caught this year somehow. The Olympic tryouts were in Indianapolis, which is 2 hours away from Dayton, where I'm at.
Yeah.
So we went to see it. It was amazing.
Oh, yeah. That's really cool.
Yep. They took the football stadium, the Colts Stadium, turned it into 2 50-meter pools.
Wow.
With, rock and roll, music, huge screens, everything. It was amazing.
That is awesome. It always amazes me how they can turn those convention centers and turn them into like hockey rinks, basketball courts, football fields, swimming pools. Like
nothing's impossible.
Yeah. Oh gosh. But anyways, Denis, do you want to give like a brief introduction of yourself and what you do at Ellipse outside of
when you're not swimming
and all this other fun stuff you do?
Exactly.
Swimming through dynamics.
Yeah.
No, of course. My name is Denis Guryev. I'm a principal software solutions architect at Ellipse. I've been with the company for 15 years now. I think, 3 days to 15 years.
Oh, wow.
It was, I think, I might be mistaken. I don't remember if it was end of October of 2009 or beginning. So it's either side.
Like plus or minus, you're there. Yeah.
Yeah. I've been working in Dynamics world for 18 years. Basically, my background is technical, but you cannot stay just technical. So it's technical, functional, a lot of consulting, figuring things out. That's what I do.
I like to joke that when you're technical in nature, like I was, you're functional when you need to be.
Right, exactly.
I need to be. It's like if I need to learn accounting, I'll learn accounting for today, and then I'll forget it tomorrow and move on to supply chain.
Exactly. You wake up, you never know which hat you're gonna wear.
Who am I gonna be today?
Jack of all trades. That's fun. Denis, do you want to share how you kind of found Ellipse Solutions and how you got to working here?
Yes, of course. I was I grew up in Ukraine, I was working in Dynamics. I was working with Microsoft, and I met Gary Bilot, who is the one of the owning partners at the company. We started working together. I did a couple of projects, and then eventually I was offered a permanent position and moved to the United States. And that's the history. Everything else is no.
Yeah.
They made you move to Dayton, right? Part of the stipulation was you had to live in Dayton.
Well, you take a flight, you go to the birthplace of aviation. That's how it goes.
Yep. Yeah,
exactly.
If you're coming to the United States, you got to come to the best place in the United States.
I love coming to Dayton. It's such a fun little town. Yeah.
It is fun. Yeah. There's a lot of hidden gems there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Which is why we have our D365 Tech Connect there, right?
Exactly. Yeah. What, however many years straight in downtown Dayton, Ohio.
Yes.
The unknown aspect. It's the unknown aspect of coming to D3. You get this experience, this little corner of culture that you might not otherwise experience.
Yes, very true. Yeah. Yeah, I just toured our venue today, or did like another walkthrough for the Tech Connect venue, and yeah, I'm really excited for it and see how it works out for this year, something new. So
before we jump in though, what's your favorite thing other than Mikhail about working at it?
Oh, it's not one particular thing. It's a relatively big company with a small kind of homey feel to it. That's the best way to describe it, and everything that comes along with it. That's how I like it to be. You always have it, beyond your daily tasks. You always explore something new. You can always dive into things that are interesting. We always try to stay on top of new technology. That's just how I am. I just sometimes I like to geek it out, just sit down and just do something really crazy, and it's embraced. I love it. This conference, the Tech Connect, is one of the examples where we just can just go and just dive in.
Yeah, kind of break free. And you said it perfectly. I mean, people would ask me, I was like, the easiest way to describe it is it's a big enough company that you get to do big things, but it's a small enough company that you get to do small things. And there's a great
exactly.
So you're not lost in one way or the other. Like if some people do just want to be a big cog in a big wheel or whatever, and I like I gravitate more towards the companies that have this big grand philosophy, but also kept that small town small feel to it.
Yeah, you can just go on Teams, chat with anyone. There is no level of hierarchies. It just it's really nice. It cuts through the things that I don't like doing, basically.
You bet.
Yeah, kind of best of both worlds. And like you said, you've been here for 15 years, so there must be a reason, right?
Exactly.
Tech Connect is like that too. It's getting to be a big event, and it's got a lot of big components to it, a lot of great education. But it's one of these events we've talked about a lot. It's got a small town, small feel to it. It's really intimate.
Yeah, Denis, you've probably been to every single one of the Tech Connects we've had, right? Even the internal ones. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys know the history of the Tech Connect. Basically, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, right, in Seattle, Washington, Microsoft used to hold technical conference long time ago, where the architects, developers came together. We talked about cool technical stuff, not just how to close your books and how to close your inventory, that sort of thing. But then it ended. It became more kind of user group, user driven, and we were missing it. We were missing going and looking into databases and machine learning and something that just is really, really crazy. And so we started doing it internally in the company so that we can everybody picks their own topic, whatever you wanted to explore this year, and you go dig it up, and then you show your work to the rest of the company, to the rest of the developers, architects, business analysts even. And then I don't remember how many years ago we opened it to the public, and it was a success because we found that there is interest out there for the same exact thing. It's nice to go chat, network, kind of look at the functions, but sometimes you want to just sit down and just kind of embrace that geek inside of you.
Yeah.
Just do something that you don't have opportunity to do otherwise.
That
for no other reason, but just
the Microsoft Tech Conference was one of the first I went to, and I was an end user at the time, but also a developer. And you get access to like the people who are doing it. So, the people they brought over was like Peter Volodson, the guy. He's like the grandfather of X++. Like he built Dynamics, and he's there talking to you. We were in a session with this guy, and it was not only standing room only. It was probably fire code unsafe. Like I felt like if there's in this building right now, I'm dying because there's no way I'm getting out of this room. There's 500 people crammed into a 100-person room, because it'd be like going to see, Warren Buffett or any, just somebody who's the best at their craft there in front of you. And you got a front row seats to hear from him, ask him questions, posit ideas like, hey, have you guys ever thought about doing this? No, we haven't. Let me think about that. And they would take these ideas back. I mean, you're talking to the people who are writing the code. And that's kind of the same thing you're getting with the Ellipse Tech Connect, is that you're talking to people who are developing, right? They know the code. They're going to be able to share and they're going to be able to hear from you too. You may, as an end user, again, I was a functional developer end user, but you could offer up ideas like, hey, we've been doing this. Can you help us? Or what do you think about this? And that's the kind of access you get with folks like Denis. And like you said, every technical bull is going to be there in Dayton with any attendee, which is awesome.
Yep.
Definitely. Yeah, kind of like Denis said earlier, you can really dive in and geek out, and it's really cool because it's something that you don't necessarily get at other conferences either. So it kind of sets it apart in that way.
Right.
We were just talking about that. One of the folks that's working on Dynamics Con for next year, starting that programming piece, she was asking, how do you balance out, the session types? Like, is it all beginners? Is it intermediate? Advanced? And I was like, typically you get maybe a few advanced, and then it's mostly heavy to intermediate and beginners, because that's the folks you're getting. Most of the folks that go are not developers, because the content's not there and there's not enough to support. Usually it's the functional users going to these things. So this is another reason why this one's unique. It's the only one that I know of that's technically focused. There's no other conference. A lot of conferences out there, broad and small, that are doing user content, but none of them are as deep and technical as what Ellipse Tech Connect is, which is awesome.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Denis, do you want to kind of speak on your session and what you're kind of focusing on this year?
Yeah, of course. So with Copilot, kind of breaking through all the ranks, basically people are very excited about AI these days and machine learning in general. So, but I want to walk the attendees through other models. So Copilot is great at generating text. It's a generative model that generates text as you kind of prompt it. But there are other generative models out there in the machine learning world. So my session is about data exploration. There is a technique called embedding, where you take any piece of data and the model basically learns about it and tries to assign kind of like a coordinates to it. Imagine basically having your sales orders or your support cases planted on the report on the X by Y space, and just plot it as a dot. And the closer they are together, the more similar they are. The farther apart they are, the more dissimilar they are. So this technique is used actually in a lot of different specific tasks, but one of them is data anomaly search. Then data selection, data exploration. So wouldn't you want to actually see your data except for just scrolling through the grid? Wouldn't you want to plant it maybe in the 3D space and kind of look around and see, oh, what do I have on this side? Oh, these are my big customers. What do I have on this side? I didn't know they were, so far apart. Maybe I should divide them between different salespeople or, review them in different ways. So all of these techniques always existed, but the tools that are available now, they're just top, basically right now the state-of-the-art tools are available to be used. in Microsoft Fabric, in Azure. You can just basically write the model itself and run it through your Dynamics data. And what's the most exciting is that years ago, you would have to extract the data, process it, do all of these things which take forever before you can even do anything with it. Now with Dataverse, with Fabric, you have all Dynamics data at the fingertips. You just take it, you just run it through the model, put it on the report, Power BI or otherwise, and you can explore it. So that's the gist of what I will be presenting this year. How you can use these generative model capabilities to visualize data, be that numerical data, text data, basically anything you want.
And you can bring other models in. I mean, there's endless capabilities. So if you want to bring a separate data model in that maybe is adjacent to what you're looking at, whether it's sales orders or whatever, you snap that on. So that's now adding another layer of analysis in it. And just saw a tech talk. Actually, it was more than a tech talk. It was really a demo and on AI and supply chain and manufacturing and F&O. And they were looking at what you were talking about. Hey, we're going to have these kind of copilots, these little quick data analysis available for you. So tomorrow I wake up and my master plan tells me to order 10,000 of an item. I'll be like, what? That's way out of normal for what we typically would order. Like, why? And it does was on a button and get some insight. Is oh, we had one order for 9,000 yesterday. And so we can quickly say, okay, we know we don't normally get orders for 9,000. We will not order 10,000. We're going to, it's a good way to look. So it's pulling out what you talked about, that anomaly or that outlier of data that says, hey, our core sales are like 10 a pop. We got this crazy 9,000 piece sale that could throw off your data plan, because now you're looking, oh, we just sold 10,000 in a month, but normally we sell 1,000. We might over order or make a bad decision on inventory, as opposed to, oh, this outlier is now quick at hand, so I don't have to do what Denis said, which is pull all the data out, look at it, analyze it in Excel or in crazy ways. I can just click on a Copilot or click on a data Power BI report or whatever it is you're choosing to use to visualize it. But yeah, the data collection, and I love the term exploration is fun. I picture you like setting sail on the 7 seas and your captaincy, and just exploring all the data lands. On to Synapse, folks. We're the Dataverse.
Oh, the Sherlock Holmes hat with the pie.
Exactly, the big giant commander's hat for sure, and the top coat. That's what I'm picturing. I think you should deliver your session in that outfit if you can find something.
Exactly. Yes.
Yes.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, we just had Rachel on, who normally comes in a costume. Now we should convince Denis, and then we slowly keep the ball rolling. Slowly, it's going to be a costume contest.
You have to move it closer to Halloween, then it makes sense. Like, you have to come in costume. It's Halloween.
That would be fun. Yeah, like I said, we walked through the venue again today, and there's this black room, which is like people use for theaters and stuff. And when we first walked in, it was like almost pitch dark in there, except for like one spotlight. And I was like, ooh, this is spooky. I was like, if it was closer to Halloween, we could have like a little haunted house or something in there.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Old style, where you bring in bowls of spaghetti and tell people it's guts and like grapes become eyeballs. You ever do that? Like in church? Like, I feel like church did this a lot. You would go into a dark room. It's like, okay, put your hand in the bowl of eyeballs, and you put it in. It's just like a bunch of grapes. And you're like, oh, eyeballs. Yeah. Now you go into the guts, and you grab it's just spaghetti. That's it.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Good thoughts for next year.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm sure the attendees will love that. What? I drove all this way to put my hand in a bowl of spaghetti?
Oh yeah, I'm thinking about pitching this idea to Brent. Just think about what he would say.
Tell him, Bobby. Yeah, tell him that you got some great ideas from the last podcast, and we're really looking forward to the bowl of spaghetti and eyeballs next year.
Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, Denis, with you going or being at Tech Connect for multiple years now, what's your favorite overall part of it? Is it like the sessions, the networking, I don't know, what sticks out most to you, or what do you love the most about it?
Yeah, I just love learning what other people found. It's always surprising. You always feel like you're on top of things, right? Throughout the year, you feel like, oh, I heard about this, I heard about this. And then you go and you get surprised for 2 days straight. That's the part I love, that, you know, it's just somehow all of these new things just avoid you, right? And you go and somebody else was actually researching this for the whole year and they can present to you, you can ask. And, you know, the colleagues, the, you know, people you work with, you can just go and talk to them. And it's just the feeling of how much is out there to learn is what I love.
Yeah,
because you always feel sometimes like you're this, you know, this hamster in the wheel, just spinning, spinning, and then you kind of get out and see the world around you, and that's how it feels to go to the Tech Connect every year, and it never ceases to amaze me how I'm, you know, it surprises me every year that, oh, I never heard of this before. What is it?
Like you said, it's fun. It's your teammates too. That's a fun. I think it's a fun aspect. That the entire, with the exception of a few Microsoft keynotes, it's mostly your teammates doing this. So it's a fun aspect, like you said, that they've been thinking about this all year. They're hopefully coming with something that's going to just, you know, knock your socks off, surprise you, and you're getting that feeling it's working, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, they say 2 heads are better than 1, and at Tech Connect, there's like at least 60 heads. So imagine what goes on there. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, cool. Bobby, is there anything else that I'm missing that we wanted to pick Denis's mind about before we close out?
We talked about, you know, his session, but I mean, obviously, do you have off the top of your head how many sessions? There's 2 days. There's a charity event, but how many sessions are there total? And
we have 8 total sessions with technical focused topics like Denis just talked about his. There's a few different Copilot ones, obviously, because that's a hot topic right now. Some machine learning. I think there's another one on data as well. I don't have them all off the top of my head. So yeah, there's the 8 from Ellipse Solutions, and then we all have 3 Microsoft sessions, which are always very insightful. And then we're also having 6 sponsor showcases this year. So those ISVs can see how they can maybe plug into the end user's experience and just enhance it a little bit. So
yeah, another great aspect we didn't talk as much about, but again, these intimate affairs are great for learning about ways you can improve the system if you need. Like if you've got tax related questions, you've got somebody there that's going to be able to answer them, potentially point you in the right direction, or let you know everything's cool. You know, it's like, hey, I have this tax question. It's like, oh, perfect, we're covered. Or, whoops, we've got a gap there. We need to, you know, dig into this further. So you've got, and most of these people have been doing it in the channel for so long. They're experts. So it's just another layer of expertise in the room. You know that you have at your fingertips, which is nice.
Yeah, definitely.
And the good thing I love about Tech Connect is that we have basically one room, right, with all the people in it. So you don't have to go find them in these bigger conferences. Sometimes you want to talk to someone that you need to fish them out somewhere, find them in the hall somewhere, and you can't always do it. But at Tech Connect, you have a lot of time you can just go talk to the person you're interested in. There's tax people. Last year we had somebody concerning with the international shipments, you know, how to verify it's, you know, with all the sanctions going around the world, you know, that your shipment is legal, illegal, you know, what you need to do to protect yourself against, you know, maybe crossing the line accidentally somewhere. It's really cool to even, you know, and you can just stop by and talk, and that's what this event is all about, to just collaborate, you know, pick anyone's brain on any topic you want.
So many networking opportunities. Yeah, lots of networking opportunities.
Yeah, even outside of like the designated networking event we have, I just feel like the whole 2 days it's networking in itself. Because like Denis said, it is all in one room, and I think we talked about this last episode, but you can like go around and literally shake everyone's hand because that's just how intimate it is. And yeah, that's what's really cool about it as well. So yeah, very excited. Denis, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you?
Oh yeah, I am. 1 through 10 doesn't capture my excitement, you know?
Turn it up to 11.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Love to hear it. Cool. Well, I think that is all we had. Denis, we kind of like to end out the episodes by asking some silly little questions. So
questions.
What?
Insightful questions. At the last time, they were pretty insightful questions. I feel like we dug deep philosophically.
Oh yeah, I was feeling philosophical last time. I don't know if
philosophy this time around. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
I am intrigued. I'm definitely
I'm here for it.
Okay, so the first question I have is if a movie was made about your life, what famous person would you want to star as you?
As me?
Yeah.
Oh no. Probably Jack Nicholson.
Oh.
It's probably Jack Nicholson, you know? There is one side and then the other side, you know. That's how I feel myself, you know. It's not a white and not a black, it's right between, you know. And some days are that way, some days are that way.
Okay. I'm not sure if I know who Jack Nicholson is. What movies does he play in?
He hasn't acted in a long time, so he probably stopped acting 15 or 20 years ago. But he was in some pretty big movies. He played the Joker in the kind of the first Batman movie with Michael Keaton.
Oh, okay.
He was in a couple of comedies, like rom-coms, like in the late 90s, like which wasn't Something's Gotta Give was one. There was one he went a Golden Globe for. Yeah. So yeah, if you Google him, you might recognize him. He was a big actor in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. But then I think retired like late 90s. Like he was probably done like early 2000s or so, and hasn't really made anything since then. So
gotcha.
It's a big movie, I think, in the 2000s where he I don't remember the name of the movie where he was playing the mafia boss. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, was that was he in The Departed? Was he in The Departed?
Yeah, Departed. That's right. Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Yep.
So he was playing this Italian mafia boss.
That might have been one of his last films, actually. I think The Departed was pretty close to the end.
Okay.
Yeah, it's getting pretty close. Yeah, because that was definitely 2000s, but I think kind of late in his career. Yeah, good actor though. Definitely a very interesting guy. Like you said, he's got a couple of sides, like a really crazy, wacko side and a pretty sweet, funny side. So
yeah. It's always unexpected. You know.
Yeah.
You see him first on the screen, and then it keeps developing. It keeps opening up through the movie.
I like that.
Savannah, who was your choice?
I had Julia Roberts for kind of the same reasons as Dennis. I feel like in some of her movies, she plays this kind of like a little bit soft-spoken girl. Like I feel like in Mona Lisa Smile, she's more like that. But then in other movies, she's more like bold and outspoken. So
and Erin Brockovich kind of like getting down, but she's like totally, out there.
Yeah. So, and I just love her as an actress as well. So.
Yeah. I'm gonna go. I'm a pretty nuanced guy, so I think like a Tom Hanks. Yeah, he's got it down. Like he's gonna be able to get all the nuances that he needs to get in and do this thing. I also thought of Gene Hackman. He's another one of my favorite actors. Another guy who stopped acting a long time ago, but I just like his style. He's really nuanced, character choices, and I like that.
Yeah.
But he doesn't play the same character. Like Tom Cruise is kind of Tom Cruise. Like
right.
He has exactly. Kind of the same in every movie.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I love Tom Cruise. But
same with like Adam Sandler. He definitely has his like niche, and he does it very well.
Yeah, you bet. But some of those other guys are a little more nuanced.
Bobby, kind of off topic, but one person that has been reminding me of you recently, I've been watching Dancing with the Stars, and I feel like Derek Huff, like some of his mannerisms and things like that remind me a lot of you. Yeah. So
I'll have to double check him. I know who he is. I don't watch that show, but I know who he is. I'll have to check him out and see if I can pick that up. That's fun.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. So my next question is, would you rather speak to animals or know other people's thoughts?
Animals. Yes.
Animals.
I don't want to know what people think.
Yeah, I don't want to open that can of worms. Of
I think that's I don't want to know what they think of me. I don't want to know what they think.
Exactly.
No. Yeah. That would probably hurt my feelings more so than not.
Better to have an intellectual conversation with an owl than to hear what Denis
exactly.
is thinking. Connect, you know.
Yes. The amount of times I've looked at my dog and been like, what are you thinking right now? It's probably nothing smart.
Wasn't there a movie? Talking of movies, wasn't there a movie when somebody could hear the thoughts of people and it was just a nightmare? Because you walk through
there was one with Mel Gibson where I think it's called What Women Say or What Women Talk About, or
right, yeah, something.
He all of a sudden he got bonked in the head or got shocked by lightning and he could hear what women were thinking.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Because I remember the scene where you walk through the crowded street and it's just noise.
Yeah.
Completely random noise and just unbearable.
Yep. It would be awful. Yeah. How could you control? Yeah. No, talking to animals, 100.
Yes.
For sure. Okay. And then my last question is, what is your favorite kind of soup?
Soup.
Yeah.
So mine is, there is a traditional Ukrainian soup called borscht. That's how you pronounce it, borscht. So it's made with, it uses beets, and it turns it red, basically. You eat it with sour cream. You put sour cream in it. It makes it very, very hearty. And, you know, surprisingly, my kids who were born in the United States, they love borscht. They cannot pronounce it, almost. They try.
It's spelled B-O-R-S-C-H-T, I believe. So it's got a lot of letters at the end that don't have vowels. So it's like borscht.
Right.
Borscht. Yeah. Get it out there. It's like hard to pronounce when you look at it.
Yeah, for English, in English language, you have to use all letters in the alphabet to basically spell it out. But it's just borscht. That's it.
Yep. That's funny.
I'll have to.
And surprisingly enough, the many cultures, many Eastern European cultures have borscht, and they're all different. So Ukrainian borscht, in particular, that's my favorite. I went to a Polish restaurant in Chicago a year ago, and I saw borscht, and I asked, "Oh, is it the same as Ukrainian?" And they said, "No, it's completely different. It's still called borscht, but Polish borscht and Ukrainian borscht are completely different things." So, if you guys ever see Ukrainian borscht, try it.
Yeah, for sure. Huh.
I learned so I wouldn't have thought to ask. I thought you typically, like, if you have chicken soup, it's chicken soup. Right. You could add different spices, but I figured borscht was borscht, so I didn't realize it was multiple. But it makes sense. Why wouldn't it be? You know.
They're very different. So even though Poland and Ukraine, they are neighboring countries, I tried Polish borscht. It's different. Good, but different, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, right. I've never even heard of it.
Yeah, no, I've definitely heard of it. I don't think I've had it, but I've heard of it. I'll look for you if I can find Ukrainian borscht. I'll look for that.
Isn't the next Dynamics? Is it the next DUG conference in Chicago? Is it?
It is. Yep, in May of next year in Chicago.
Right. So Chicago has, I think, the biggest Ukrainian diaspora in the United States. There is a place called Ukrainian Village where there is actual Ukrainian restaurants. So you'll have a great opportunity to visit one of them and try.
I'll put that on the I'll put that on the list. You bet.
Yeah, real Ukrainian borscht.
I love it. I'm going to throw down Italian meatball soup just because I've been craving that lately. It's a unique Italian, dish with the little teeny pastas and spinach and then meatballs. Maybe carrot. You could it can be variated, but just a good hearty little teeny meatball soup. I like making it too, like making the little meatballs and getting that seasoning right. That's what I'm going with.
Oh man, I'm getting hungry.
I know. Good thing we're getting to the end of the
day. Is making me a little hungry, Savannah. We had the last time we did this, we had burger talk, and man, like I left that really wanting a hamburger. Now I think I want some soup all of a sudden. Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a theme here. I just must be hungry all the time coming up with these questions. So people are going to be like, dang, Savannah likes to eat. I was going to say one of my favorite soups too, Bobby, is Italian. I don't know the official name of it, but my mom makes it and it's a like Olive Garden doux. But it has like Italian sausage in it and kale and potatoes. And I think the official name is like zuppa something with a Z. Supicos. I don't know. I won't try to pronounce it, but it's really good. Anyway, it has like whipping milk or whatever. I forget.
Like it's got a cream base to it as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And sausage and soup is good too. Like I was gonna add, I do like something with a bite in it, like a sausage or something.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what this one has, and it's really good. But cool. Well, those are all the questions I have for you guys. So go get some soup after this is done recording. But yeah, Denis, thanks for joining us today and taking your time to chat with us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. It was a pleasure. It was fun.
Yeah. Good to see you again. Good to share soup recipes. We'll have to put the recipes out. Like when you post this, I'll find my favorite Italian meatball recipe and put it out there.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
Do you make the soup at your house ever?
I do not know how to make soups. No.
Okay.
Well, my wife does, my mother-in-law does. I have no idea how to do it.
All right.
My culinary skills kind of nosedive past, the boiled egg, essentially.
Gotcha.
It goes
That's pretty good, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can share their recipes then.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect. Cool. Well, Bobby, thank you as well. And to everyone watching, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.